Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. So today I'm bringing you guys one of my favorite champions again. If you remember, if you guys have been here long enough and you remember when Udyr got upgraded and I just released Udyr videos in a row, I'm back to the Udyr game plan. And today I'm bringing you Udyr Akshan. And as the title on the thumbnail of the video implies, we actually got masters with this deck. I actually think this deck is very good in the current meta. Because the current meta is relying a lot on big units, think of like Barilawi or even Kai'Sa decks, Udyr can get bigger than all of those. Like, Udyr is probably the one unit that can get the biggest out of any unit in the game so easily. Because literally, the moment that you do like multiple stance swaps on the Udyr, and when he levels up, right away, he's getting +3, right? He gets another +1 from his level up. So on his level up, he's getting +4 pretty much. Because each of the stance swaps that you have used give him +1. So right away, he gets +4. So even if you don't have any other stance swap on Udyr itself, right away it becomes a 10-9. And obviously, at that point, you really probably have bear stance on it. So again, just continues growing so big. So he's able to just pretty much stop a lot of the current decks on his track. The other benefit why I think this deck is currently good is because this deck does really bad against control. So think of like Feel the Rush, think of like Nami Twisted Fate, think of like Heimer Jace. And those decks are not as popular in the current meta. And the reason, obviously, because Vengeance can be really bad for us. But again, people are not playing that. But even if we were to run against those, we do play triple Riot negation to try to protect us. But enough of me talking. You guys know I love Udyr. So I'm very glad that I was able to reach Masters with an Udyr deck. How many people can actually say they have done that? So let me give you a quick breakdown of this deck. So the idea, obviously, is just Udyr Akshan. And the idea is simple. You're just going to go for a really big Udyr, and you really have Akshan more for consistency, right? You have access to the Warlord's Palace, which lets you predict into potentially joining your Udyr, and then later on you get access to the Warlord's Horde, which can give your Udyr the spell shield, which can protect him against a lot of stuff. So the rest of the deck is just kind of built around saving and protecting Udyr and those two units. So Elixir of Iron is really good because he lets you drop Udyr on the field, even if you have a single mana. And Elixir of Iron is enough to usually protect the Udyr, and then you're able to just right away snap your regeneration stance swap. So Elixir of Iron ends up being really, really good at getting a lot of favorable trades that people don't expect. Akshan, we talked about just consistency. I played one Hourglass. I needed one card to get to 40. And Hourglass kind of makes sense because it synergizes with both Akshan and Udyr. Because if you get to resummon your Udyr, obviously you get a stance swap and a new stance swap, or you get to reduce the one you have in your hand by 0. And it also counts towards the Warlord's Palace or the Warlord's Horde. Inner Beast, really good, right? Inner Beast can synergize with the Akshan Palace, and it's also really good with Udyr, gets you more access to stance swaps. Trollshan is really good in this deck as well. The current meta is very unit heavy, so Trollshan lets you get a lot of good trades. Wonder, really good early blocker, and again, lets you start working on the stance swap. I do play 3 Desert Duels, so 3 Desert Duels allows me to be able to just kill a lot of the opponent's units. It's really my main way to remove the opponent's stuff. Like, you can kill a Kai'Sa when she drops on the spot, for example, if you have a unit that's big enough to kill it, and you can do stuff like that. So Desert Duel can be important for that, and it also works because it's a strike that can synergize with both your Udyr and your Akshan. Tavern Keeper, because we are very vulnerable to aggro, so Tavern Keeper lets me heal up and kind of stabilize. Merciless Hunter, allowing us to remove a lot of the opponent's units. And then Quicksand, again, very unit-centric and battle-centric meta, so the Quicksand is able to stop like Kai'Sa on its track, for example, and a lot of other units. Vagabond is just there to synergize with the Akshan. Yurg is really good because the only hidden on this deck is Udyr. So by having Yurg on your deck, you pretty much have 6 Udyrs in your deck because you're able to draw your Udyr if you draw Yurg. And it synergizes really well because you can do this on turn 4 and then Udyr on turn 5 right away. Riot negation protects us, and then Udyr is the big bull, right? So with Udyr, just gotta keep in mind, when you play Udyr on the field that first turn, usually you want to start with either bear stance or with boar stance, right? Depending on what the opponent has. If the opponent has like really good blockers, then maybe you want to start with bear stance so that you're able to actually push damage over them. Or if you need to be able to heal up because your Udyr is damaged and you think it's going to happen, you can do the regeneration instead. So you usually want to start with one of those two. Then you do the second one, so whichever one of the two that you didn't use. And then usually the last one that you're going to do is going to do your Wild Claw stance. That way you just level up and get you overwhelmed as well. So that's usually the order. Obviously, Ram stance and this order is going to change depending on certain game states. Ram stand can be really good at removing a lot of the opponent's stuff. So you see in the games how I kind of choose which one to use depending on the situation. But anyways, yeah, enough rambling. I've been rambling for 5 minutes. I'm just really excited. I love Udyr, and I'm really glad that I got here with Udyr. So hope you enjoy the games coming up now. And if you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. In this matchup, we'll be going up against P&Z. So Aphelios P&Z. I don't think we're able to win this. I think opponent will be able to go way faster than us. Because we're a little bit too slow, right? We don't really have a lot of units. So this is not the matchup that we want to run into. Our units are very vulnerable, and our opponent just has so much more units than we do. So they're able to just run us down. Like, our deck is very weak to aggro. And just like this, because we don't really have any one-drop. Dustbringer, yeah. So right off the bat, opponent could have like something that we're gonna have to sacrifice action against. Now this is a good blocker. So we always just go sacrifice against the Boom Baboon, right? We gotta reduce the amount of damage that we take, so we have to let go of the action. Luckily, we do have a second action, but the opponent could easily just have a Mystic Shot to stop the second action. And then we'll have to do the Jerk, and that might not be enough. Now, the good thing here is that the Ram stance might be really good, right? If the opponent commits to a lot of 1 health units. If I was the opponent, I would just Mystic or Get Excited this if they have it. Especially because they have a discard fodder for the Get Excited. I don't think you want... That's a good blocker. That's a good way to stop us too, right? But then what? You're attacking with the Sun Dredger. You can't... If you pull the Flame Chompers, you're giving me the free value in the action. And I guess you are pushing 7 damage though, so that is worth it. No Troll Shed is kind of annoying as well, because Troll Shed could at least starve off some of the problems that we're having. Ooh. So we go here, and opponent goes for the second Chompers. That could be a problem. I think it has to be like this. This is nice because he could block the Sun Dredger, but I don't think it's necessary. We could block the Sun Dredger right now and then just do the Stance Swap. Opponent now also knows that we have Stance Swap in our hand. So if they go for it like this, they get punished because we could kill both of their 1-drops. Sure. So we just go like this. That way we take 4 less damage, because obviously we still do 1 to ourselves. We're gonna have to sacrifice the action anyways, which is fine. So we're only gonna take 3 damage here, because we're gonna sacrifice the action into the Sun Dredger. Unless the opponent gets this. So we're gonna take 7 now. So we end up taking the 7 anyways. So we end up taking the 7 anyways, because the opponent just happened to have the Daring Portal on top of it. Now, opponent also has access to the Dust Petal, so they are able to... Whew. Okay, this is a good draw. This is a very good draw. Wow. Because I would like to summon the Udyr, but I think it's kind of greedy to summon the Udyr. But I like this draw because he lets me kill... Unless the opponent draws the Mystic, right? If they draw the Mystic, then this gets punished. We can always Desert Duel as well afterwards. So we can Desert Duel afterwards. So we can Desert Duel to kill the Sun Dredger, because I'm trying to reduce the number of units that the opponent has before they're able to commit for their big value. Second Desert Duel? Does that ever make sense? I like the Inner Beast. Kind of like the Inner Beast. So the problem that I have here, right? So the problem that I have here is that opponent's gonna have access to dust. So opponent needs to save 1 mana. If they want to do the Winding Light on turn 6, they need to save one more mana. So yeah, so there we go. So this is gonna be a Wind and Light turn. So this is gonna be their Wind and Light turn. We have access to Quicksand, which is really good. We could also kill the Wind and Light by attacking it with this, meaning that we only take 3 plus 3. We will take 6. We will take 6. Is that correct? Actually, we take 5. Is that correct? Because we can buff this up and then do this, or we could do the Quicksand. Or we could do the Quicksand, which is about the same. Actually, the Quicksand is less damage. The Quicksand is going to be less damage. Yes, right? Yeah, the Quicksand is less damage. So we can clear his whole board, right? So we can block here. Go here. That's going to allow us to kill the Wind and Light with Quicksand. We can block here and here. So we only take 4. We can only take we can only take 3 if we want to. So if we want to, we can leave the portal alive and only take 3. That way we keep our action alive. So we could do it that way, because this is taking 4 right here. We could just leave the portal alive. But the elusive portal is kind of scary. He has another. So if he has a second Wind and Light and has the elusive portals, that's very scary for us. Do I need to keep action alive, or do I need to clear his board?
The world won't save itself, you know.
Let's clear his board. Let's clear their board. It's 1 more damage, but that way the opponent has no units on the field. The only downside here is that I don't really think I have a good time to ever use Udyr. So it really doesn't feel like I ever have a good time to use Udyr. It has to just be action. We can level up. Actually, well,
Night flowers upon my blade.
one is kind of giving us a lot of value. He knows that we have the stand swap, so I'm surprised that they're doing it this way. Now, we have to keep enough mana for Riot Negation, or we have to commit the heal. One or the other. Strongest unit that has died for us this game is the Merciless Hunter. If we go for the Udyr, we can do the stand swap right away. I think I like the Tyrant Keeper. Keeps us a little bit healthy as well. Opponents should know that they cannot summon the Daring Portal, otherwise they just lose to the stands. What is opponent doing? What is opponent doing? I'm so confused. This does do more damage to me, which kind of sucks. Now the question here is, okay, I was thinking about which one should I do, and I guess now I have my answer, because they did the Pelt Cascade. They must be playing. Yeah, we're gonna grant everything vulnerable. We're gonna summon the Merciless Hunter. We can go over here. That's okay. We're gonna kill everything. Opponent doesn't really have a lot of units for the Wind and Light. So opponent doesn't really have a lot of units for the Wind and Light. They could summon the Poro. Opponent only really has 2 cards, right? Opponent really only has 2 cards. We have Riot Negation. Ooh, that's... So we can just summon Udyr now. Because opponent now... Okay. Why don't we just commit this? I mean, this is okay, right? It is okay with me? Like, I don't need to do anything. I can block everything that the opponent throws at us. Even if I have to sacrifice my action. The Riot Negation is what's going to clutch the game out for us. So they decided to go ahead and do the Poro, which means that I'm going to go ahead and do this. This allows him to kill the Merciless Hunter. So I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. That way opponent is not able to actually kill the Merciless Hunter. Now the Udyr is gonna be buffed up. The only problem is that we don't have any more stance swaps. So Udyr is really not putting any pressure. At least we get rid of their elusives. Opponent only has 2 mana. So nothing that they do here really scares me. Yeah, and there you go. We could commit the second Udyr, but then we're losing to a bunch of stuff. This is so scary. We could commit the second Udyr right here. But again, I think that's losing to a bunch of stuff. Not having overwhelm on this is really unfortunate. Opponent's gonna play it one at a time. This is just killing myself, right? This is literally just killing myself if I go for it. So opponent played it smart, just did one get excited first. Only has 2 cards left. They can, I mean, they can go like this. That way they're able to just buff this up. I cannot tap out a Riot Negation. So I always have to keep the mana for the Riot Negation, unfortunately. Which means that we don't have a way to block the Winged Light. I guess we do, because we have the Elixir of Iron. So we do have the Elixir of Iron. Opponent also hasn't shown us the 6-cast spell that he got.
I help when I can. Shut up when I can.
I think we're just gonna go for the Overwhelm. I think we're just gonna finish this game now. Because we can trigger the Warlord's Horde so that we get the Spell Shield. Okay, so Wind and Light. We have this and we have blockers. We have blockers for both. And we have Riot Negation. That's okay, right? We have blocker here. We have a blocker here. The only downside is losing the Udyr. So opponent is doing it in such a way that they're gonna be able to put us at 3. I kind of don't want to lose to... the Mystic. I want to force him to have exactly... I think I need to force him to have exactly... Get Excited, right? We don't want to lose to the double Mystic. So now opponent's going to have Get Excited. Otherwise they lose. Because we're going to have Spell Shield and everything. Could be double Get Excited though, which could be a little bit problematic. So maybe we don't actually even commit. Maybe we go like this. Because this doesn't need to have anything else to it. I need to draw. I think I need to draw. The Spell Shield doesn't matter to me anymore. Right? I feel like I need to just draw. We have the Riot Negation to stop 1 Get Excited. We cannot stop 2. I was trying to see if I could get the second Get Excited. But unfortunately we didn't get it. I mean the second Riot Negation. And there we go. I wanted to look for the second Riot Negation or the Tavern Keeper. That's why I decided to draw, because we don't need the Spell Shield on the units anymore. Whew. That was close. That was close. Second Wind and Light almost got him there. Which is why maybe it was a consideration not to go for the Overwhelm on the Udyr. But I feel like I wanted to threaten a potential just lethal there on the spot. So, GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going up against Kai'Sa Sivir. It's a very good matchup with the opponent, but fortunately for us, we end up with a really good hand too. If we can get the Udyr early on, we can start putting a lot of pressure on them. Quicksand ends up being really good as well. Double Quicksand is not bad, to be honest, because Quicksand can punish the Kai'Sa like a lot. And we get the Udyr now. If we can level up that Udyr, we'll be in a good spot. Unfortunately, the opponent will be able to kill our action. So opponent will be able to kill our action here. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Because I think it's worth it to level up that action. It's worth it to level up that action, in my opinion. Honestly, the Elixir might be better off with Udyr though. This is tough. This is tough.
You like it?
I think I have to commit it. Oh, if it goes like this... Yeah, we're just gonna go like this. The action is always gonna die, but at least it will level up, right? So at least we know that the action will level up, which is really good for us. It feels bad. It feels bad doing this Merciless Hunter, so I think I'm gonna pass. So I think the pass is actually correct here. The action is gonna level up regardless. Right? So the action gets to level up regardless. Even without doing the Merciless Hunter. I think I'd rather have the Merciless Hunter for like a Kai'Sa. Instead of this, right? Now, my problem here is gonna be Supercharge. Supercharge ends up being kind of annoying. Because it gives the opponent the spell shield. But now that we have Troll Shen, it's not bad. So if we summon the Udyr, Udyr's only gonna be 4. Opponent gets spell shield. Opponent has to have it. I think opponent has it. I think opponent has it. I think opponent definitely has it. There's no doubt in my mind that the opponent has access to Supercharge here. Which means that the Udyr will die because it will have Challenger and it will have Spell Shield. We could pre-commit the Quicksand, but that also doesn't seem amazing. Pre-committing the Quicksand doesn't seem amazing. I think I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna take a ton of damage here though. There's the Supercharge that we talked about. Everything gets, yeah, everything's gonna get, like the cast is gonna get Spell Shield, whatever, yada. Do your thing, cool. We're gonna take 6, 8, at least 10 damage, potentially more. Doesn't matter which we do it. I guess I could actually save this. Like, I mean, I guess not save, but I could at least kill the Broadwind, which I think is worth it. Because what I'm gonna do is that I wanna set up the Ram Stance, right? I wanna set up the Ram Stance to get rid of their Spell Shield. Maybe not. Maybe it's this. Now, I think I need to get rid of the Spell Shield. So I want to set up the Ram Stance, get rid of the Spell Shield. Because we did it that way last time, we were able to advance this considerably. The Spell Shield will allow me to Quicksand the Kai'Sa whenever we want to. That is not a big deal to me. Are we supposed to... No, there's no way, right? I think we just go here. Opponent will need to have another Supercharge. He will need to have 2 Supercharge, right? To play around the Quicksand. And if the opponent has double Supercharge, then, you know, they're just a gamer. They could get the Spell Shield from... So they're gonna try to get the Spell Shield from the Sivir. So they get the Spell Shield from the Sivir. So what we can do is that we can Troll Shen first, preemptively. That way he's not able to get that from Sivir. And we still have access to double Quicksand. This is gonna give my Udyr Spell Shield. Opponent, the only downside is that we don't have the stance swaps, right? So we're not able to level up the Udyr.
You're covered.
Whew. This is so close. Opponent's gonna get blown out, right? Opponent's gonna get a little bit blown out. We can kill the Kai'Sa this turn, no problem. We can kill the Sivir as well. So we're gonna have to just put it on the Mercy on this girl. So we're able to quicksand both the Sivir and the Kai'Sa, allowing us to kill them both. Oh, I forgot she gets Challenger, because she has the Challenger. No, she still dies. She still dies to the quicksand. Because the quicksand removes their bow, so the Kai'Sa goes to 4. Kai'Sa goes to 4 health. So we go like this. Keep that girl alive, because we purposely just gave her the vulnerable, right? Whew. This is such a tough game. This is such a tough game. Unfortunately, we don't have the regen here, right? So we're not able to, like, full on just kill this until our future turn. Now, we are able to give regen to this right now, keeping this alive for a little bit. We're also able to trigger the Sentinel's 4. Question is, am I supposed to give the spell shield? Because technically we can kill the Radiant Guardian if we keep the spell shield, right? And if we keep Udyr alive, how is the opponent ever beating us?
You've got a problem, I've got a price.
So if we give spell shield, we can kill this girl, get another stance swap. We have the Riot negation. Whew.
Go get this tiny devil.
Once again, I mean, this is safe now because he has spell shield. Because I can't do this right now without... I guess we could do it. I feel like I need blockers. I feel like I need blockers.
The storm comes.
Let's go here. Let's be mana efficient. We don't lose because we have the right. We have spell shield, right? And this is gonna heal back up. So we have a way to block this stuff. If opponent has the Void of Abomination, it's not a big deal because we have access to stance swap. And then quicksand. So we have access to the stance swap and then the quicksand. So we're able to stop the Void of Abomination from doing anything to us. And there it is. We go like this. So that gets rid of the spell shield on that one. And then we have a second quicksand to be able to punish it. And Udyr becomes really, really big. Opponent did it that way to give himself like spell shield and everything. Doesn't have scout though. So the Void of Abomination goes bye-bye. And we kill the Sivir next turn because she has vulnerable. And we win the game because we can just pull her. So, GG's. You can see why Quicksand is so strong in this deck. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Lulu, Bando City, P&Z. So this is going to be the Chumpers deck. I like the action. I like the Desert Duel a lot. Man, this hand is this whole hand is really good. The Quicksand is probably the worst one out of all of them, to be honest. So Desert Duel is kind of nice because he allows me to potentially kill their Lulu. Riot negation is really good as well. Stops the burn. I might have to just sacrifice the action, to be honest. Might have to just sacrifice the action right here. Is that correct? I think it is. I think it is, because this action is just gonna die to a bunch of stuff anyways, right? We can do the Vagabond here. Get this already to 4. We're gonna get Udyr in our hand. We're gonna get Udyr in our hand because of the Yerk. When it goes for the Archivist. Whoa. I'm willing to take this. Willing to take this. Let's see what he's discarded. Ah, they got the Poro. Okay, they got the Poro Cannon. Alright, alright, alright. A little bit annoying. They could have the Lulu right here. Do they also have the Chumpers? I'm gonna hope that they don't have the chompers. If they also have the chompers, then we just get punished. Okay, otherwise we just get a nice block here. Even if we take 4, I think that's okay. I think that's fine. I think I'm willing to do the Udyr here. This is gonna start leveling up our landmark. We have access to... We have access to the Elixir of Iron. Opponent needs to block this now, right? Which means that they get punished by this. And then we can probably regen. We get punished by the Mystic Shot. By the Mystic Shot, though. They shoot Mystic Shot right now, but it still doesn't matter. So here's the question. Am I supposed to just... I don't think I'm doing this, right? Because I can just wait for the opponent to commit their second portal before I do this. If they don't commit the second portal, that's okay. So by doing it that way, opponent quote-unquote stops us from getting value. Is this ever a place where we write a negation? What if it is? It stops a draw. Stops a draw from the opponent. Stops a draw and keeps our unit alive. We could have kept it with Inner Beast as well. Opponent still gets the value anyways. So opponent wants to really commit that second portal. Opponent really wants to commit that second portal. The downside is that we don't have any way to commit lethal. Unless we draw the second Udyr right here. Troshan is not bad. I think I like the Troshan. I'm making the opponent make the choice here. They can just push 1 damage, which is the same amount that if we do the stand swap. If we do the stand swap, it's also 1 damage, right? 3 Pokesticks. Yeah, I guess we just lose to the triple Pokestick value. So we just lose to the triple Pokestick value from the opponent. All right. So let's go ahead and have some fun now. Let's go ahead and have some fun now. The problem is we don't have Elixir of Iron, right?
Well, this isn't the glade.
So the problem here is that we don't have Elixir of Iron. So I'm gonna start here first. Get rid of that first one. In case that the opponent has double Mystic, that way we're still able to get rid of their portal. Because if the opponent has double Mystic, and we start with the other stand swap first, then we don't have a way to actually do the stand swap, right? So at least this way we kill their portal and we're forcing the opponent to have to develop. Of course, the develop is still really bad for us. Lightning Rush. Okay. So now we're gonna have to do the regen, which kind of sucks. Opponent gets to resummon their portal. But the regen means that the opponent is only able to push 4 damage. And because we have the Random Negation... Wait, why did he hit the Udyr and not face? The opponent should have known that we always gonna regen right here, right? So opponent just lost 2 damage that he could have gone face. Because we always gonna commit the stand swap first. So that we're able to get another stand swap in our hand when we attack with Udyr right here. So there we go, we get to push into 14. Opponent summons their portal. If they're gonna open attack, pushing 4. If they don't open attack, we can do the stand swap. Double Riot Negation is pretty good for us.
Anyone want to join my party?
Yeah, this is fine, right?
Arda's gonna make a meal of 'em.
We could Desert Duel.
Hurt you. You tell me.
We could Desert Duel. We could Desert Duel that Lulu right now, and the opponent is only pushing 3. That's probably better, right? My only issue with that is that we lose value from one stance swap. We could do the one right here and still have access to Troll Shen. That gets rid of one Poro, so we're only still taking 4. Because if we don't do anything, we're taking 6. Desert Dude gets punished by a second Lulu. Desert Dude gets punished by a second Lulu. I think it has to be Desert Dude, though. I think it has to be Desert Dude. This means we only take 3 damage. Unless opponent has a second Lulu. In which case we still take 6. But it's okay because we have Riot Negation. And we can set up the Overwhelm this turn. Oh, he had more Poros. Okay. So he had more Poros, which would have been really annoying to deal with. So opponent's gonna try to deal Sits right here with their Poros. We can kill one Poro. So if we do the stance swap, so we have to go for the Overwhelm. We can kill all their Poros though, because we can always draw a second Udyr. I don't hate this. I don't hate this. Let's do it now before I run out of time. Yeah, I don't hate this. I don't hate this. The only downside is that we're not able to push lethal next turn, right? We kill the Poro. We still take 6 because opponent's going to have a secondary Poro. We should have just waited though, right? We're able to kill the Poros again because we're going to get another... So, opponent pushes 6 here. Which I have to be okay with. I think it's too early for that Troll Shen. We do the Jerd, giving me access to another Udyr. But we can just lifesteal, right? I guess we just go like this. This is presenting lethal, forcing the opponent to block. We can just do the Udyr stance swap. We have the heal now, and we have the Riot Negation. Opponent only has 2 cards, so we're able to clear all their Poros. And I think opponent realizes that now. So we're able to clear all their Poros anyways. While also having Riot Negation and Tavern Keeper. That's better than trying to go for the play that I was thinking with the Jerd. So we go here. Cool. Fortunately, he gets more and more value. We have the Troll Shen to stop the open attack. And we still don't have the Overwhelm, right? So we still don't have the Overwhelm, and we're pushing damage to ourselves every time we do this, but he's preventing 2 damage, and he's setting up the rest of the opponent's board. Opponent only has a 6-cost created card here. We still have Riot Negation to stop anything that they do. Troll Shen stops the open attack. Troll Shen stops the open attack. And then the Udyr spell finishes everything else up. I like this. So now we go like this. I think I still need to keep Riot Negation, especially because we don't know what the opponent played right here. So now we go here. We have Riot Negation mana open. And our whole board is buffed up, and the opponent's losing all their board. Boom. We can even do another stance swap if we wanted to, but we don't need to. This is lethal, right? Opponent needs to have Chompers here. Opponent needed to have exactly Chompers, and they got it. So the Chompers allows them to survive. But what if we still go for it? If we go Overwhelm, don't we just win the game? Opponent doesn't have enough to do like Get Excited and something else. They could have gone the mini-morph though. And if they got the mini-morph, it could be kind of annoying. Because they could have gotten the mini-morph from the Financier. So I think it's too risky. I think it's kind of risky. I think we just go here. I think we just go here and keep the Rana negation. Just in case of a potential mini-morph. So the mini-morph is so risky against the Overwhelm. The Financier could have given them that. I have won games because of that. Opponent didn't have another blocker, so it ends up being lethal anyways. So opponent ended up not having another blocker. GG's. Whew. I thought they would do another. I thought they would have another blocker there when they did the Senate Urchin. Kind of weird that they didn't, but yeah, GG's. In this matchup, we'll be going after Jhin Annie. We do have some heals, and we have a lot of good blockers here. I think I like this whole hand. Action with Elixir of Iron means that it's going to be a good blocker. Vagabond is a 3/3, so it's a great blocker as well. We get punished by the stuns, right? So that's my only concern in this matchup, that the opponent has access to stuns. We also don't have a 1-drop that's able to kill like their stuff, so that's kind of annoying here. So for example, the Sunhawk on turn 3 or the Station on turn 3 are both really big punishes because his stuns are blockers. So they were not able to have blockers for their units. Now we can do action first. Get some attack in here. Opponent could just develop and ignore our attack. Decides to go for the Bunkuroki. Again, Station or Sunhawk are the big punishes here. Could still have access to it. I can't play around it. If the opponent has the Station, they have the Station. Okay, that's not a Station. That's good. But that's not good. Okay, that is not good. That is not good. We need to kill this Annie right now. So, we need to kill this Annie right now before she can level up. So I have to go and do it this way. That still gives me all the blockers, but the opponent still has the Saboteur, and now we're down to 7 HP. We will need to top deck. We need to top deck the Kindly Tavern Keeper. We can kill one of the Saboteurs, but that still puts us at 6 in our next turn. I'm willing to do this now. I have to get rid of the Saboteur, so this is the way to be able to do that. And we can Tavern Keeper at the start of the next turn. That saves me 3 HP. Opponent gets a second Annie, of course, because why wouldn't they? Attack here. We level up action. We could potentially get a second Tavern Keeper. That would be the best thing that could happen to us. Or Riot Negation. Riot Negation is also really good. So Riot Negation or second Tavern Keeper are both really good. I'm glad that I killed that Annie last turn. Now, again, same thing as we talked about last time. The stage hand becomes a really big punish. So this is 1 damage guarantee. If the opponent has this... Okay, So no matter what, we're going to take a lot of damage. Desert Duel? Desert Duel could be decent. Desert Duel could be decent. I think it had to be a skip though, to be honest. Had to be a skip in my opinion. So now we take at least 3 damage. I guess that's not true because we have to just not block the Annie, right? So blocking the Annie is the less amount of damage that we can take. So we have to go like this. We go down to 3. We lose our whole units. We could save our action with the Inner Beast. But I feel like we need to have value for Quicksand. Wow. Wow. If opponent had a Fervor, they needed to put it on the stack right away. So now we still survive, but opponent still at 10 HP. So we do quote-unquote survive. Opponent still at 10 HP. We only have 1 unit in the field right now. We can do the Udyr, and we have access to the Desert Duel. But if opponent gets like decimates and stuff like that, we lose the game. So we can beat everything except for like Decimate and Fervor.
How about another round?
There should be no problem doing this, right? I want to keep the Desert Duel. I need to keep the Desert Duel. Disintegrate? So we can actually stop that by doing the Troll Shan. Yeah, so we can actually stop that by doing the Troll Shan. Annie will almost... Because we can just do this. Meaning that we take 0 damage here. That's the third Annie. That's the third Annie. We cannot do the stand swap. Because anytime we do the stand swap, we're just kind of like taking a ton of damage. What if we go here? That's kind of trolling though, isn't it? I guess a Fervor. If the opponent uses Fervor here to kill Udyr, I'm okay with that. So I think I just gotta go for it here. Right? We gotta go for it right here. If the opponent uses the Fervor, I'm fine with that. We can block both of their units. We have another Tyrant Keeper, and I think that gives us the game, right? I think that gives us the game. Annie does level up. So, we have the Quicksand. So the Annie leveling up is kind of a problem, but not really a problem. So we can do it like this. Allows us to kill the Annie. But I kind of feel like I'd rather keep this for something else. But then the Annie's gonna level up, which means that she's gonna push 1 damage. So I think it has to be here. Because we can Quicksand, right? We can Quicksand whatever the opponent summons. So we kill the Annie. We can Quicksand the Spider so that we don't die. So we don't die to like a random Decimate. Opponent could have the Stage End right here, meaning that we would take 2 damage. And that's game? That should be game. Because at most, opponent can only push 2 damage. So opponent can only push 2 damage, and we can give the Udyr the Overwhelm, and we're able to win the game that way. Woo! Double Tavern Keeper. Double Tavern Keeper for the win, right? That was close. That was very, very close. If the opponent had gotten their burn, like if they had Decimates, it would have just completely ruined the game for us. So GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Kai'Sa Sivir. This is really difficult. Like Kai'Sa matchups are really the worst ones for this deck. Because they're able to go like super aggro really early on, even before we're able to do anything. This hand honestly doesn't look bad, but the problem is that I don't have any early blockers, right? I think I need to keep the Udyr, but I need to be able to get some of my early units. This is not early units, right? Okay, action is really good. Action is really good, especially because we can trigger the action very early on. Opponent gets the Fearsome though, that's kind of funny. So anything else? Fighter Negation? Not bad. Rider Negation is not bad. Opponent can just attack for 3 here. Actually, he could attack for 4 because we don't have a way to stop the Fearsome. So the opponent just gets to attack for 4, and that's how you end up kind of slowly losing the game because they're able to just get so much value out of you, like over and over and over again. I'm never attacking with this guy, so I think I'm just gonna open attack because I'm never attacking with the Wanderer, right? So we can just open attack because opponent cannot block. We'll go here. That's 4 keywords already, so opponent is 2 away from evolving. I would love to get rid of all his units before he can make them evolve.
My shield is yours.
With the opponent doing that, I think I can go ahead and do the stand swap, right? That way we have good trades everywhere. I guess the opponent can still kill the Wanderer. Yeah, actually it was probably better to do the... Yeah, now that I think about it, it was probably better to do it the other way, right? Because now opponent... Okay, well, opponent ends up getting the thing anyways, right? This is where it gets... This is where it gets scary. Opponent gets Kai'Sa right here. So this is where it gets really, really scary. Opponent gets Kai'Sa.
The starlight isn't a gift, it's a burden. Only
Right.
I can burn the darkness away.
Opponent gets their Kai'Sa. If we attack, obviously we're gonna have to block with the Udyr.
I'll stop you. Die.
We're always gonna give this regen, so it doesn't matter. Opponent could have the sharp side, which will actually kill our Udyr. And then the opponent just pulls. Okay, it didn't have the sharp side, so we're able to actually regen and evolve the action. Okay, so this is not bad. This is not bad, because the Udyr is going to be regen. And we can actually evolve the Udyr. I mean, level up the Udyr. I mean, I'm playing against Kai'Sa, so I keep thinking evolve, right? We have Rhino Negation to stop a lot of things that the opponent might have. Well, we can't stop that. So opponent's gonna get Scout as well. Can't stop that. Quicksand is huge. Quicksand is huge. Unfortunately, if the opponent gets exactly supercharged, then the Quicksand won't matter. And what do you know? Watch. They're gonna have the supercharge. Because they always do. So they're gonna have the supercharge right here.
I'll show you how to fight.
Woo! I swear, guys. I swear. I'm like a genius, right?
This is my
I'm a freaking genius. Unfortunately for opponent, we can actually kill their Kai'Sa.
time to burn you away.
So we can actually kill their Kai'Sa by doing Rite of Negation. Unfortunately for me, okay, well, I think that's pretty good now, right? How does the opponent beat this now? How does the opponent ever beat us here? It needs to be the bear stance so that we can get enough health. I guess we're always gonna get enough health, right? I don't need to do the overwhelm right now because we can always do the inner beast to get the overwhelm. Opponent always gonna be able to kill the action. So I can always do the inner beast to get the overwhelm. So I'm just gonna go for the 2-2 right now. I guess I could have gone for it, but this also keeps me safe, right? This keeps me safe against any random stuff that the opponent might have. Opponent's gonna go ahead and kill the action, which gives us the trigger here. So this goes down to 2. We can actually get the spell shield. So we can actually get the spell shield here. And Udyr should be able to win the game from there.
People, don't look the other way.
Take the children to safety now.
So this is 17. Opponent has to block this. It's a little bit risky because if opponent has a second Kai'Sa, we're in trouble.
The first star would have blazed so brightly without the dark.
What did I say? Second Kai'Sa means that we're in trouble now. We don't have the Rite of Negation anymore. Now, this is a really big unit. Now, we do have access to Stand Swap and Quicksand. So we can remove the spell shield. Opponent has to go after the... So if we go like this... If we go like this, we remove the spell shield and then we have Quicksand. Because opponent can now get spell shield. He will get the barrier, but he cannot get the spell shield from the Boy of Abomination. I think we're still in a decent spot. Because opponent ended up developing. Sure.
Stronger than the dark. Can't hide from the light.
Opponent plays it smart and goes really slow first. Wait, no, it removes the thing, right? it removes the evolve, so Kai'Sa actually ends up dying. And there we go, we got there. Yeah, I forgot that it removes the evolve, so the Kai'Sa actually ends up dying. I wanted to put it on both the Abomination and the Kai'Sa, just so that we will be able to not die to the Abomination with the Challenger, right? So GG's. So in this matchup, we're going to be going up against Nami, Twisted Fate, and this is going to be Drizzle. So we're literally getting the best pilot on this deck as well. This matchup is going to be outright impossible because of Vengeance and Crumble just being able to kill our Udyr. Now, Desert Duel is kind of nice at being able to kill the Nami, but we don't get action either. We have the Vagabond though, so at least we can start setting some stuff up. Ooh, yeah, this is not great. The Elixir Variants don't really help us out in this matchup. Oh, that's good. That's good against Vengeance. So Riot Negation is what we're looking for, but this is also not the worst thing in the world out there. That's a big boy. I don't think it's worth it to try to kill it. That is a big boy. Double Udyr? A little bit awkward. A little bit awkward because we don't have a way to really do anything here. So we literally have to just pass and burn 4 mana. So we can do the first Udyr. Opponent can have Tentacle Smash. And the Tentacle Smash is enough to actually kill us. But it does start working here. Is the Tentacle Smash actually enough? I don't think it actually is, because we can do Troll Chant. That keeps it alive at 1 health. We get the 0-cost stand swap and can do the regen. If the opponent has a second Tentacle Smash, then they still lose their value. We have Elixir of Iron to stop the Battle Feast. Yeah, there you go. So we go here. And we get our Udyr right back. Now with enough health to survive against most things.
Take everything.
If the opponent wants to give me the Tentacle right here, I'm okay with that. This Udyr will not be able to kill most things in the game. Again, we do need a Riot Negation though, because the Udyr is still very, very vulnerable to Vengeance. So Vengeance still kind of like the big punish here. I don't know if the Desert Duel makes sense right now, but I kind of dig it. Opponent didn't summon Nami, so that means that they don't have the Nami. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So the opponent has to lose their Twisted Fate. We lose our Desert Duel. We get value here. Opponent still not able to do anything. They did stop us from getting a stand swap, which is a big deal. Riot Negation, please. No Riot Negation, but Action is also very good. Action is also very good because he lets us start working towards the Spell Shield, which could be another way that we win this game because opponent already used 1 Battle Feast. Now, opponent could easily have Ruination right now. That's not a Ruination. It's pretty good for us. We can go here. That way we can attack with Udyr. Opponent still has access to Vengeance. Nami? Oh. Ooh, they get the Nami. They get the Nami after I already used my Desert Duel. That's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and attack with everything. Opponent shouldn't have a way to buff this up because this is his most expensive card, right? Oh, he's just gonna go ahead and do the... He's gonna try to kill the Action here? Oh, he's gonna try to kill the Udyr. He's gonna try to kill the Udyr. But that gets punished by the second Elixir of Iron. So now we're able to keep the Udyr alive, which is gonna regen 1 more time. If opponent commits that, I'm just gonna do the Ancient Hourglass, right? So now we just do the Ancient Hourglass, and we get the same value, because this still dies. The only downside to this is that now we don't have access to a way to protect against Vengeance until we can trigger the Spell Shield from this card. Now, we are very close to it. We are very close to it. But man, he's doing everything in his power to stop us from actually getting value. I think we always go here first. Actually, let's go for the overwhelm. We always go here first, I think. See if he does the vengeance, right? I need him to tap out of vengeance. They tapped out of vengeance, so now we can do the desert duel, which allows me to get another stand swap, which allows me to trigger the Warlord's Horde. Ho ho! That's why I went with the overwhelm, right? So now we actually still threaten the overwhelm damage. We can quicksand this right off the bat. So he's gonna get punished by quicksand. He shouldn't attack, and I think he knows that. They should never attack. I think it's correct to quicksand. Opponent needs to have the third glimpse. So opponent needs to have the third glimpse here. And they're actually gonna have it. They actually have the third glimpse. So they have the third glimpse to stop us from leveling up Udyr and get rid of our quicksand. I think I still like the idea of going for the spell shield though. So that our Udyr is now able to like not die to a vengeance. Opponent already used double Tailstone, triple glimpse. Mark of the Isles is already done. The only downside is that we don't have access. If the opponent has another Nami, we lose the game. So if the opponent has another Nami, we kind of lose the game. I need to look for the Riot negation. Ah. Let's go here. Let's kill this Burble Fish now before the opponent gets another Nami. We have another Udyr, right? So opponent needs to have double vengeance to be able to kill this Udyr. I mean, one vengeance or one ruination does it. Now opponent will be able to get a lot of second quicksand. Second quicksand is game winning, right? So now we can do the second Udyr because the second Udyr is gonna have spell shield, and then we get the overwhelm to it. Opponent already committed another. I guess they could have another Gohar, and then they could have the vengeance in the open. Otherwise, it's not gonna be enough because this gets a spell shield right back. Has to be Battle Feast into vengeance. This is not enough to kill us. This shouldn't be enough to kill us. We can just quicksand that, right? So now that we lose to the vengeance. So now we lose to the vengeance anyways. So we lose to the vengeance. Opponent gets the Nami again. Absorb soul. What is this game? This is not lethal, by the way. This is not lethal. The open attack isn't lethal. But I need to play around a second ruination. Is this enough? This puts him at 2? Okay, that's game. We got there. We got there. Woo! We actually got there. Because now we can do the Wonder and win the game that way. So I had to open attack, right? He plays around the second Tailstone, the last Tailstones. And he also plays around like a bunch of other stuff. He plays around this Twisted Fate as well with the stun. Whew, so yeah, they never drew the vengeance. We were able to get the spell shield and attack with the Udyrs, and there you go. That's as nice as it gets to get to Masters, beating a matchup that should be bad for us. and with Drisov piloting the deck as well. So GG's. Oh my goodness. Whew. Okay. Yeah, that game was crazy. Again, we are really bad into control matchups because vengeance, right? But we were able to just get around it. Opponent never had the answers to it. And we never drew the Riot negation either, so we also didn't get our own answer to it. But we ended up getting the spell shield, which forced the opponent to do a lot of stuff, and he ended up working out for us. So GG. Sorry, I'm like out of breath because I've been playing like all day today trying to get to Masters, and we finally got there. So GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games and hope you enjoyed us reaching Masters with Udyr. It was not an easy matchup. Oh my goodness. Going against Drisov is always hard. Literally one of the best players in all of Americas. So kind of like an honor fighting him as my gatekeeper to get to Masters this season with Udyr at that. But enough about that. In terms of mulligan, which is usually what all of you guys stay here at the end for, right? Obviously, you always keep your action. Action is key. So you keep your action when you can. I like keeping one wonder if I have nothing else. It's an early blocker and also lets me enable the stance swap really early, which means that if I get an Udyr later on, that first stance swap is going to cost 0, which tends to be really important. So action, wonder, and I don't mind keeping either Yerk or Udyr, depending on, like if I have the Udyr, I keep one Udyr. If I have the Yerk, I just keep the Yerk. Unless I already have an Udyr in my hand, then I, kick the Yerk away. But so the idea is that you want to be able to start stabilizing with your Udyr as soon as possible. Obviously, those are like the hard keeps in my opinion. But the rest of the keeps are gonna just vary depending on the matchup. So if I'm going against aggro, then I want to keep as many early blockers as possible. So obviously keeping action, wonder, I'm even keeping some of my 3-drops because I need to be able to have blockers early on. Especially Tavern Keeper becomes really important because he obviously lets you heal against aggro. If I'm going against something like Kai'Sa, for example, sometimes I don't hate keeping one Quicksand because Quicksand can be really good once the Kai'Sa drops down. So you just gotta kind of keep that in mind. You kind of saw us against Nami, for example. Desert Duel is not bad because he allows you to kill her. But yeah, so again, like a lot of these tools are gonna be depending on the matchup, but for sure it's gonna be action, wonder, and at least one of Udyr or Yerk, so that you're able to start working from there and kind of go from there for the rest of the match. Aside from that, I mean, all the tips that I can give you here, I mean, you saw the ordering of the stance swaps is really important. Don't forget how good this Ram stance can be, right? So you saw us playing Ram stance a lot in this video, so just keep that in mind. Ram stance can be really good at just kind of saving your butt and getting you out of sticky situations and just getting rid of the opponent's board. Obviously, just make sure that you get a big Udyr on the field and that you're able to protect him, and usually that's enough to kind of win you the game. So enough about that. As always, if you like the video and you like our content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We also stream on Twitch at Sirturmund. We stream 3 to 4 times a week. If you're watching this on Monday night, we're currently in Jay Sensational's Twitch channel doing Jeopardy, and then you can actually find us live after that. So I think the Jeopardy starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So maybe you're watching this right at this time. You might be a little bit early. But yeah, you can find us in Jay Sensational doing Jeopardy, and then we're gonna be going live on our Twitch stream. And then you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. Someone actually have brought this up on our Discord channel. So if you want to keep up to date with some of the crazy decks that are out there, Discord is the way to go. The links to both of those are in the description below. So thank you for watching. Appreciate all the support, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.